Hello, my vacuum cleaner chums. How are you today? We have a double Miele S5 today. These were dropped off earlier. They blew up, and the cleaning lady said that they didn't work. So we need to work out what is wrong with them and what it's going to take to fix. Now, it's not the cables. I was hoping it would be the cord rewind issue, which would be very simple to fix. However, I did realise that this one is completely dead. This one runs but sounds appalling, as I shall pop a little clip in to show you now.
He picked up his suitcase.
Right, hopefully I'll put that clip in. If not, please say in the comments and I shall call myself an idiot. So this one runs terribly, so I'll pop that to one side and concentrate on the dead one. So they are both Miele S5210's. Very nice indeed. I've had one of these as a daily for a long time. They're both suffering from the button issue that all Miele S5s do. Miele wants about 20 quid each for those. Might be more for that bit. I looked into it once. This one is missing its crevice tool, but has its other tools. It's also very dusty. And the reason it's very dusty is pattern bastard bag. And on a Miele, these are big no-no. Other vacuum cleaners, you can get away with it. The cheap HEPA Flow Henry bags, people say they're a bit iffy, might be alright. Cheapo pattern bags for older, lower powered machines, fine. High powered machines are a big problem. When I have my 1200 watt Constellation, I put an original-ish pattern paper bag in it. Big problem, pulled all the fine dust straight out of it. Basically what this does to these, and as we can see, if I can pull that down and not get it everywhere, this is the pre-motor filter. Poor thing. So I'll pop that there because I can't buy new parts. This is going to kill me. I've got some new pattern bags. They came with the S7. Now this was actually in, obviously that way round. I've had this out to look at all the crap that's gone through there. So this poor Miele has, I think, exploded the thermal cutout. At least that is what I'm hoping. And what, if you will stick with me and come along for the ride, we shall have a look at. Now, because I've done some Miele's before, look, I have the screw card for my S5210. So that will help. We also need... Oh, I ground me Torx driver down. Keith Millington, if you're watching this, thank you for the tip. That now fits amazingly snugly. I might be able to get one more out of it as well. So if your Torx bit is wobbly and not holding on to the Torxes, grind it down. Top tip there. Now, excuse me, I think this is going to be too big. Yes. Ah, is that it? No, that's too big. It's been a while since I've done a Miele, so my Miele drivers fallen down to the bottom. Oh, it's here. So you want this size here. And the Miele S5 is in layers. First we need to take this top bit off. And you start by, if I recall correctly, popping this cover off. You don't touch the pedals, and for God's sake don't, because they snap. So this comes off, and there is our first two screws. As you can see, it's dust everywhere. Really wish I could refurbish these, but she didn't ask me to, so I'm not going to, really. There's a limit. I feel sorry for the poor vacuum cleaner, but I can't charge her for a refurb, and she only asked me to fix them. She only asked me to have a look at fixing them. So if we don't get it working, it's not the end of the world. I won't get any money, but well, I got this video out of it. I don't charge for looking at stuff because, well, I'm not a business. I'm a bloke on Facebook, really. There's another screw down here. Bit of a pain to get to, but you do it in the end. Oh, there's a big old haircut there, look. There we go. Then there's two at the front here. This video is also a handy guide for if you want to fully refurbish one of these, because we're basically going to almost take it apart, just not fully. Change the motor, change the cord rewind, clean out a dicky speed potentiometer that sits under that knob, and take it out and blast it with carbon cleaner or vodka or light ale, as you wish. Oh, where's this last screw? So you can take the pedals off to make it easier, but you need to be very careful because the locating prongs snap off. And then your pedal goes all floppy. My S5210 has a floppy pedal because I switched its better pedals over to my one of these that I sold. I got about over 100 quid for that. So these are the top housing screws. So we shall pop these in their little hole. Like so. And then if I pop you down for a second, in theory, this should lift off. What with it not lifting off and everything. There we go, it's moving. This will pry all around and off it comes, and the plug goes through there. Like so. So layer 2, that's the speed control potentiometer. So if it doesn't go up or down very solidly, that's where to look. That's your on-off switch. These are all the wires, really. That's about it. And basically, we only take these screws out. This is layer 2 of a Miele S5 vacuum cleaner. You also need to take this pipe off, which I think is some sort of internal bleed valve, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, I don't think there's one here. It's clipped at the side, so it doesn't actually have any screws at the side. Oh look, there's a date. March 2006. Is that about right for these? Come on, pick up. Sodgy, you can stay there. The magnetic screwdriver isn't picking up the screws. So there we go. Third, and I think the final screw. I'm fairly sure this is the final screw. Let's just have a quick... No, there's one more. Ah, yes. It's been a while since I've done these. This whole thing unplugs from there. That's right, this is the loom. Going back to when I rebuilt mine now, and here's the last screw under the loom. Well, you go down there, we'll fish you out later. Now, I need to put you down again, because there's a clip here, and on the other side. There we go, look, then the whole thing lifts off. To reveal layer 3, which is the motor and cord rewind. Now, we are going to check the cord rewind one last time just before I get in the motor. The cord reel itself doesn't sound particularly fantastic, but the cable snaps on that part there as it goes around there, but that hasn't. So we'll wind it up, being sure that not let that do that. And then I think to remove it, you just pull it out. Yeah. And pull the plug out of the motor. And there is the cold reel assembly, which will still spin, so you've got to be a little bit careful. We'll sort of wedge it like so. So there we go. That to change the cable, you just undo those, and it comes off, and then there's your smoke connectors. Very simple. What we want to care about is this. Doesn't smell like it's been on fire. Right, this is the inner housing. We're not touching the wheels or the floor. So this is literally all the screws there are to Miele S5. We are very close. There's one more, it's still in there. Let's get it out. There we go. So yeah, this is, if you took the wheels off, you pop that off. No, you don't. You take the wheel off, then you rotate it to line the screw head up and undo it, and then you just pull the wheel off the axle. They're very simple machines, but very finicky when they go wrong. Right, I think I'm going to have to pause for a second because I don't have my ratchet on me to undo the fan nut. Basically, we need to get inside this. So bear with me while I go and get my ratchet set. Right, well that was more bang than I would have liked, but I have it. So we need God's own persuasion tool. Tappy, 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 until you cannot tappy it no more. Then it's prise. No, let's do more tapping with the screwdriver. You literally just have to knock the fan case off. There it goes. Very carefully indeed. Till it comes off to such a degree you can get a proper lever on there and undo it. So, fan case off. Now we need, I think it's a 13. Should we see how good I really am? And if it is a 13, no, ooh, yay! Well, last minute think it might actually be a 10. And I can't remember if it's a left or right hand through there, but you basically just, it's not on very tight, so if it doesn't go one way, don't force it. Change it, do the other. So we have washer nut fan. Let's do one of the old layouts here. Washer nut fan. Stepped spacer washer. And then some more screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then with some more even carefuler prying, because this is being held on now with the bearing for the armature. You basically just want to do it until it lets go, or you risk pulling the whole thing out, which you don't want to do. I don't know what we can do. We can be clever here. And just tap that bearing back. So there's our bearing. The bearing's alright. It's not burnt out or anything. So that's okay. Let's take the carbon brushes out, because they are fine. Utterly fine. And then we may as well knock out the armature, so I can show you how it works. There we go. And so we can check that our bottom bearing is okay, which it is. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So there is an alright armature, not burnt out. Now we need this part here, which just prises off. You might be able to push it from the other side, but it's certainly not screwed on. There we go. It clips those two contacts there plug into there. It basically completes the circuit. And it opens up, let me just move it so I can now see the screen. You just pop it open, like so. There's little plastic clips either side. And pull out the thermal fuse, which I was actually hoping was dead. This is the thermal fuse, and the source actually of my dead Miele S5. The fuse is fine in this, by the way. I'll check the plug fuse. Damn. This is a bit of a pointless video now, isn't it? My old one had blown the track right out. One of those tracks had blown because it had been used utterly backless. If this is a switch, I'll be very annoyed. That's fine. Oh, let's put it back then. Hey ho. It's always best to start with the simplest stuff. Or just go straight in with your gut feeling, because there's nothing wrong with the gut feeling at all. Let's just see if there's any other damage, if any of these wires are blown off or anything. This motor's fine. So it's not that. Damn, so I'll plug that back in. We'll pop this back in. As much as you can, it won't go all the way in. Little tappy, but very gently so you don't knacker up the thread. There's the carbons alright. Pop those in, they just slot into the spade connectors. Like so. Nothing wrong with those. Not lining up particularly well, but I think this pushes them down, really down, which I can't do properly, so we shall just assume that that is why. Now somewhere there's two bits that line up. Like so. So you line up that peg and that with the carbon brushes. And then push it on, although it won't clip on fully because these screws really do most of the work in pulling it down. Do them loosely just to get going. Like a car head gasket, we want to get the weight evenly distributed so it pulls into the bearing without snapping the top cover, because that would be annoying. Although I could lie and just say, no, it can't fix it, so uneconomical to repair. But that's just not cricket, is it? There we go, so 1, 2, there we go, hear that click. 4, that still spins acceptably well. So now we need the stepped washer, the fan, which isn't actually as bad as I thought. Yeah, it's terrible. Wow. Look at that. Can you see all that? Even if we do get this running, it's going to run terribly. Okay, we're going to stop that there. And we are going to check the chord rewind, because I'm now doubting. So I'll just put in the cable out. God, this sounds terrible. Why aren't you self-locking? Screw you, self-lock. Right. So yes, we are going to have a quick shufty at this, and we do now need a smaller Torx driver. for these very small screws here and here. So this is now turning into how to change the cable on a Miele. That one we need to take the motor apart on because that does sound terrible. We are now troubleshooting this. Ooh, drop my screwdriver. There we go. Then again with just a little persuasion from a persuasion implement, it pops off nicely. So this is the innards. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not an expert in these matters. The expert in these matters goes beep whenever it detects continuity. Yes. So I have the plug in this hand. We have live. We have neutral. I don't know to what degree, because that did sound a little bit rubbish, but I need to be able to put my prong and leave it there while I wiggle the cable about. Do we reckon that's broken? Do you know, actually it feels that's just the bumps in the outer. I'm not convinced, but I have been wrong on these matters before. Let's put that back in there. Does it hold itself there? What I really want to do is take it out. But it's on there quite well. There we go. Right, so let's wedge this in properly. And that's on 0 ohms. So it's not the cable at all. Cable is fine, so we shall pop this back together. Like so. Pop this cover back on like so, lining up the screw holes and just pushing down until it goes. There we go. And we shall start testing further down the circuit if we can. So we have our black, our brown live, blue neutral and black data. Black is data on a Miele, or not actually, because that's coming out of the cord rewind. So let's check it out at the back of the cord rewind. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hello. Yes, so we are coming out of the cable and to the main plug. However, that main plug then goes and splits and sends some power to the motor and some elsewhere. And I'm not actually getting any. No, I don't think I was in it. Okay. See, well, I'm going to stop this filming because I'm now going to basically test every single circuit to see where the problem lies. So, come back when I have done that. So, I tested all of the connectors. Everything had continuity, so I put it back together, and can you guess how we fixed it? Because if you can, please tell me. Because it now runs. And it didn't earlier when I tried it. I'll give it a proper test. I'll let it run outside on full power for a while. You know, check it out, etc. But it runs. So we finish putting it back together, clean those filters off, and carry on. Right, so that's all together. I have the bench vac out. That's not sounding very healthy. Great, we best look into that as well. Not tonight, though. So, that on there. I would love to fit new filters. I would love to wash it, clean it. Oh, missed a bit there. But I've not been asked to do that. I've even got to painfully put this horrible bag back in. I should be telling her that. I'll make up some excuse. I'll say that all the dust from the terrible bag caused something to blow. I think it probably was the dust, you know. I reckon all the dust caked the connector so much that it just couldn't. I'm surprised the thermal cutout hasn't blown on that. So, that's that one. This one runs. It has all three tools. The same horrible pattern bag, but no pre-motor filter. And that is a post-motor filter. So, as this runs, I'm diving straight for the motor again. It's even got worse pedals. I'm going to dive straight for the motor again because I reckon I didn't wash the fan on that one. I couldn't be bothered in the end. and I won't. This one I think we're going to have to. So, bear with me. I'm not going to film the strip down. We shall come back when it is done. So here we are on motor number 2, and I have skipped straight to the taking the fan off stage, and it is how I imagined it would be. Although we will have a quick check of the motor itself as well with this far. Now that's a telltale sign that not being difficult to undo. Where's the best angle? There, you see that fan? There. 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 That is running completely off balance. Utterly off balance. I'll try to pull a big chunk of it out so I can show you. There we go. So that's gone now. But yeah, that will be running so off balance that the poor thing won't know how to spin. In fact, you can tell from that crap in the bearing. Oh, this sounds a lot drier. This has been running off balance for months, if not years, I'd imagine. That missing pre-motor filter is what would have caused this, because the fine dust isn't too bad through the motor. It flings itself off. Thick hair, fluff, dirt, it can't cope with. So, let's take the carbon brushes out. Take out the armature. He says if he can do it without dropping it everywhere. Hang on. Because you can hold it at an angle so you can hit it out. There we go. So that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But these bearings, although they're alright, they're not as smooth to turn. And obviously that's identical. So what we are going to do is go into the kitchen. Right, you join me in the kitchen, where we are going to get some washing up liquid. So I think you've seen me do this before. Wow. You see, these need to soak to start with. There's no point in trying to flush all that out because it's going to be stuck hard. You need this. You now can't see it. You need that to soak it all off so it falls off. Really. So we'll leave that for a bit and come back and check up on its progress. So this has been soaking for some time. You have to excuse the noise of the washing machine. If you're watching these two videos, the Miele S5 and the DC, look, this is behind the scenes. Look, I've just done the DC19 videos while this has been soaking. Look, all the Miele stuff's chucked over there. So what we need to do is pour this away. Wow. Ugh. I was trying to set you up so you can sort of see what I'm doing. Check you can pick it up and rinse it out, really, and hope that more rubbish falls out, which it is. Try and get into all the fans, and if you can pressure wash this, it might be slightly less, and then all the fluff should start to come out. You want to get that as clean as you possibly can. I'm thinking that yeah, you can blow it there. We'll give it a little inspection, so I'm going to use the flash as a very good lens. You see there's still stuff caught down there. Oh, I can't tap on the camera to focus it now. Is there something caught down there? I'm trying to see myself. It's not 100%, so basically we'll put the kettle on once more, rinse out the box and do it again. You do it as many times as you can. This is what I think hopefully is wrong with my Hubert-Matic, why it sounds a bit funny, because obviously it's full of crap. That kettle's not got much water in it, that's fine. Oh no, it's not boiling. Oh, state of this tap now. Clean that later. So, more boiling water. This shouldn't be quite as dramatic, hopefully. Ooh, yeah, there wasn't much water in that kettle, so let's just start filling that up. That should do for now. We've got a fancy Brita filter kettle which really kills the lime scale. That's really the reason we got it. Doesn't taste any different, it just stops it scaling up. So we'll give that a swoosh about. You see, they're actually quite clean now. There's no dirt coming out of there, which is good, but we shall leave it. I might top it up with normal tap water because sod it. It needs to be submerged, you see, for the tops of the fins to get done. So there we go, we shall let that sit. And I'm going to go wash up a DC19. Bye bye. So it's been about half an hour. I've washed the DC19 and I'll be honest, that hasn't really got dirty at all, so I think we're going to call that clean. So we shall rinse it off and then we shall dry it so we can put it back. Now obviously you could leave it in the sun. You could... let me just... If you blow into it like a harmonica, there we go. Look, I don't think there's anything in there. If there is, it might fling itself out. I know there is still something in there. Hang on. I have a cable tie here. Let's see what's still hiding deep within this fan. Nothing yet. Well, lots of mud coming out there. Ah, there it is. It was a bit of whatever it was. That would have been helping. This has to be so finely balanced and tuned. There's a mud coming out now. Bit of filth now, but not too much, so we should just rinse that straight off. You can check it works by running it around all the fins, but I think that works. So the quick way to dry it is to turn on the old oven, put the hob on and wait for it to start sizzling, which I shall do now because then I can put it back together tonight. Rinse the sink out behind me, dry up the side. Yeah, that was a bit dirty, having poured that water away. So I'll rinse out this Tupperware and pop it up the vein. We basically just need to wait for it to warm up. That's warm now. And I can see it starting to dry. The water's just evaporated, it's steaming. There you get it. And that's what you want to do. That's the way to dry your motor fan. You just see the water just disappearing when it heats up. There you look. See that fin there? Dry. There's still. That's really hot now because all the water is evaporating off of everywhere. So, in theory, couple more seconds. How's cooking by Becco 1987. So the problem now is that I can't pick it up. I've got to go stick on the other hob that isn't on for a bit. Go and do something else. I'll go polish that senior. Right, I think that will do it because it will stay warm. So we should take that off. Oh yeah, that's well hot. So we'll take that off, we'll leave that there. And then the next time you see this fan, it'll probably be back on the cleaner. I won't bother filming myself putting the fan back on. You see me take it on and off with the other machine. Basically, we shall just have an after video to see if this fan washing has worked. And back together it is, and it runs. It sounds less worse, but I've just turned it on to check before I filmed this, and I can smell the burning in the air because that is not a happy motor, and I think her last words to me of can I make two into one is going to be that one as the better machine, and this one knackered thanks to that fan running I'm trying to get your words out now. That fan running unbalanced for so long. I've even oiled I've lithium greased up the bearings, and it's not having it at all. That stinks. Utterly stinks. So I shall test that one properly to see if it is actually running fine. Now we've taken it apart and disturbed whatever thing was making it not work in the first place, and I shall tell her that unfortunately she's got one dead and one shit but working Miele S5 cylinder vacuum cleaner. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it is a utter lesson in how not to treat what was a near £300 vacuum cleaner, one that still sells for over 100 even nowadays, especially with the new EU law. You can still buy these second hand if you want a proper vacuum cleaner with 2,200 watts of power that you can do what you wish with. Just buy the genuine bags. When I used to have the S5 out, my S5 bag would last a year, and that's with 4 of us in the house. You can pack them really, really full, and they last. And it's about, you can pick it up for £8 a box on eBay for genuine. Miele themselves do 2 boxes for 15 quid with regularity, judging by the spam emails I get. These are, God knows where these are from. The market. They might be Qualtex. Look, that one's pulling itself up. What's happening, look. God, shit's falling out of it. Right, that's on. If I lift up, look, it's pulling itself up. And then if I put it back down, that's not really sealing very well. It's sealing a bit. That's why, look. Don't do it. Buy genuine. Please, your vacuum cleaner will thank you. And I'm going to thank you too, because I'm going to go to bed. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.